like topicalization, subject, and some things like that. So that is still one of the most important focuses in linguistic area, and it's still under really huge argument and discussion. So my presentation is going to be divided into 5 parts. In the first part, I'm going to discuss something related with topic, especially topic and subject, topic and focus. And I'm going to give a new definition to topic, and I'll tell you why later on. And I'm going to tell you my methodology when I was analyzing these kind of things, and the topic markers in either Chinese and Old English, I'm going to present them to you. I also want to compare between the topic markers with their similarities and differences in these 2 different languages. And finally, I'm going to give you a conclusion. Okay, first. Topic and subject. I'm using Leon Thompson 1976 as my base argument paper. And in this paper, it discussed that Chinese is a typical topic prominent language and English is subject prominent one. So in example 1, 这本书字数多. This book is the topic. As you can see there, here. 这本书 is the topic, and 字数, we can regard it as the subject. So in topic prominent language, it's usual to put topic, which is often regarded as the object in the sentence in the initial place. So if we reverse the topic and the subject, the meaning will be changed. If we reverse, it's going to be 字数这本书多, and it means like comparing these 2 books, this book has a more character than the other. And in 1976 of Leon Thompson, they mentioned that topic is a notion in this course, while the subject is a sentence initial one. In other words, subject and topic behave differently in the discourse strategy. So they're comparing them in the pragmatic level. They mentioned that one of the most important feature between topic and subject is the agreement with the word. As example 2 shows, he wants the books. See, the wants here is related with he, but not the books. And also in B, he is a typical topic sentence in English. So it is the books that he wants. And wants here also modifies the subject here, but not the topic. So agreement with the word is the main and crucial difference. Also, they discussed that subject provides the orientation or the point of view of the action, experience, state, etc. denoted by the word. In other words, we can regard it like verbs are always related to the subject rather than the topic. So, the second thing I want to discuss is the differences between topic and focus. So, what is topic and what is focus? In Rizzi, 1997 and 2008, they give a really well-formed and fine-grained distinction between these 2 notions. So the topic is what the sentence is talking about, and focus is the new information in the structure, in the discourse. So they put a difference between topic and focus, and I put them in a form. So we can say that topic is the common ground between the speaker and hearer, and focus is the unfamiliar information. And topic can be constructed not only by one word, but focus is commonly constituted by only one word here. In topic, more than one topic can coexist in a sentence under certain circumstances, but focus is marked by a rising accent, so it's quite kind of like similar to the things we mentioned in our first speaker. So it's kind of like a pitch transform. But it's not the main accent of the sentence, which is all constituent of the comment. So we are going to have a more detailed discuss here. They give 5 distinctions between the 2 notions. Topic can involve a resumptive click with the comment. Topic can never have any weak crossover effect. Focus is a quantificational element, but topic is not. Focus has a unique structural position, and a WH operator in main questions is compatible with the topic in a fixed order, incompatible with the focus. So here I want to mention that topic and focus are really important information and important definition in the left referee tree. So here is a really famous tree put up by Rizzi 1997, and yeah, in Christmas we also use it as a Christmas tree. That's a joke. Okay, so now we are going to say that we are going to find the topic in Mandarin. Why is topic in Mandarin really important for my project? Because in topic in Mandarin, the main question for the scholar is to solve whether the notion of topic should be interpreted at the pragmatic level or at a semantic or syntax level. So there are 4 types of answers. The first type is proper to regard subject and predicate as topic and comment. So this is led by Zhao Yuanren. It can explain why subject and topic can coexist perfectly. However, this kind of things cannot, when the subject and the topic does not coexist, this argument is kind of like lacking convincingness. So the second type of answer says that subject and topic coexist, and the representative people is by Lu Jianming. So different from the first type, we can say like the subject and topic, if we recall, can maybe not really coincide with each other. So there are quite different notions between each other. So in the third one, topic and subject can overlap with each other and they can be independent as well. So this is a view from Lee and Thompson, which is also the thing I'm using in my dissertation in this project. So I'm definitely with the third type of people. In this view, however, when meeting the sentence with double subjects, as we said before in example 1, 这本书字数多, it seems like it's rather hard to explain whether this noun phrase is the subject or the topic. We have to continue our further analysis and try to analyze more on this kind of sentences. And the last type of answer is the topic needs to be marked and as a notion in pragmatics. So this is a really interesting kind of like thought, and I'm not that really into it because they said that topic needs to be marked with a bracket with plus T, so it means plus topic feature. And it's mostly used in the pragmatics, not in the syntax. So there are quite few problems, and I think it's not proper within this type of answer. So first one, most scholars think that pragmatics notion, the notion of topic is a pragmatic heavy notion than the syntax heavy notion. And also, this scholarship kind of like focus more on the ancient Mandarin, ancient Chinese rather than the modern ones. If we really want to trace back to the history of how this topic marker comes from and how it's developed. So also we think that it's kind of a chaotic, right? We really need to unite all the different topics, the different notion of topics into several kind of like lesser, definitions. We need to kind of like unify them a little bit more, not kind of like chaotic like this. So for me, because I'm using the topic notion in my project, so I come up with a new definition. So I know I'm kind of like great. So the new definition I come here is like a topic is specifically marked constituent, often generic or definite, which precedes a clause and relates to a position, also known as a comment inside a sentence. The topic is based on the common ground that both speaker and hearer share, which is a syntactic and also at the same time is a pragmatic notion, acting as the old information that the speaker is thinking and talking about. So the things I've been marked red is correlated with syntax. And the underlying words are correlated with pragmatics. So this is a notion that can combine both syntax and pragmatics together. And yeah, that is the new definition I'm going to use in my project. So let's go to the methodology, which is my second part. The resource I'm using are 2 books. First one is Alfred's Playful Sayings from 996 to 997 AD. And the second book I'm using is the records of the Grand Historian. So the timeline about this book is around like 104 BC, and also known as Shiji. Why am I choosing these 2 sources? Actually, I've discussed a lot with my supervisor at the time why I'm choosing these 2 sources, because they have similar genre. They contain many daily communications into these 2 books. And there exist many records of communication, so that is exactly what I said just now. So both materials can be regarded as one of the most representative masterpieces around the time, and it's also under many discussions, and most of you have already used this book and tried to interpret this too. So the corpus I'm using is the YCOE corpus from the University of Manchester, which is related to the Old English. And the second, for the Chinese corpora, I was using BCC and CCL. And all the examples, as you know, the Chinese corpora doesn't have tags, so all the examples are analysis and sifted through memory for the second time. So around like 3,000 more tokens were analyzed for this project. So let's go to the results. First of all, I'm going to discuss the topic markers in Old English. In Old English, there are 3 types of topic markers. The first one is to propose the constituent to the initial place of the sentence. So Celialis for Babylonia. So this is the constituent to the very initial part. And after that is going to be the main clause of the sentence. It's from the Hogg from the Cambridge History of English. And the second type of marker is to change the proposed constituent into nominative place. So Daland, this is turned into nominal case, so it can be regarded as the topic of this sentence. So this is not my analysis, this is from this book. Also I mentioned before, it's from the Cambridge English Language. And the third one, which might be familiar to us all, is that structure. So that is left that is one media. So this is loathsome life that they just create. But in my corpora, in my analysis, I found that only it is that structure is found in the average lexemes. So the topicalized structure is not always found in Old English. So what about Archaic Chinese? Archaic Chinese, as we can imagine, has a variety of topic markers. And the sentence topic markers are usually function words. It means that it seldom contains any meanings. So I chose the 3 frequently used topic markers. The first one is 知, second one is 哲也, and the third one is 至于. Let's go through them one by one. So there are 2 functions of 知. The first function is, it is a connection between topic and comment in a sentence. In other words, to resign the independence of the sentence. So it's to 取消句子的独立性. Yeah, 去取消句子的独立性. So the structure of this kind of like sentence is subject plus 知 plus a predicate and plus explain sentences. For example, in 6. 公之是连将军属与秦王. So 公 is the subject or the topic in the sentence, and 是连将军属与秦王. It can combine these 2 components together. So that is the function of 知. And the second function of 知 is it is a structural auxiliary word, 是结构助词. So it is used to enhance the indication of the topic in a sentence where the constituent of the 知 is the topic of the sentence. Like example 7 shows, 顺天之意, 知民之急. So 意 and 急 here are the topic of the sentence. I see some amazing faces, and I will just leave it to afterwards. Okay, so the second topic markers in Chinese is 哲也. There are 3 types of 哲也, and I might say that 哲也 indicates focus more than topic after I already submitted my dissertation and the first function of 哲也 is to explain the subject. Like example 8 shows 向极者下象人也自语. So it is introducing a newly appeared person in the context, inclined to be focused in the text. So you remember, just now we discussed that focus is the new information, but topic is kind of like an old information. So that's why I'm indicating that 哲也 is introducing focus more than topic. And we are going to see more examples. The second type of 哲也 is to illustrate a certain logical relationship between topic and comment. So it means that 去解释主语和其他成分之间的关系. So in Example 9, 师不师古而能长久者，非所闻也. So 者也 here, it can you can see the relationship between the things. One thing that can last and not obey in the ancient Greeks, and you never heard of it. So there is a relationship between topic and comment. So the third type of 者也 is to explain the cause of a certain result. This is a really famous example. 所以遣将守关者，被他道之出入于非常也. In 10, I'd rather say that it's kind of like a reverse relationship between cause and effect. Because as you can see from this translation, the reason why the soldiers are kind of dispatched to the checkpoint is to avoid. So there's a reverse relationship between these two. And 之 here is to put in the subject and predicate construction. So for the third topic marker, 至于, it is conjunction with start a new sentence. So this is a really simple example, so it's quite like 者也. It is introducing and emphasizing the topic. I'm going to skip it because I don't have time. Okay, so the similarities between the topic markers between Old English and Archaic Chinese is that, first of all, topics are most situated in the very initial place of the sentence. So this is related with the principle of information coding. So this principle says that people tend to put old information, which they are really familiar with, to the initial part of the sentence and put new information afterwards. And the second, the topic in both languages is especially marked either by certain markers or punctuations. So I'd rather say that Mandarin nowadays would more like to use punctuations to form topic. For example, like 这本书我要订了. 这本书, we can say like this is the topic, and we are going to put a punctuation after that. 这本书我要订了. And it's kind of like the topic, and we are going to emphasize because this is this book I want, not the other books. So the third similarity I found is that when the proposed topic constituent is a noun phrase, and this constituent is also the object of the origin sentence, the original place in a sentence can either be blanked out or replaced by a demonstrative pronoun. So you may ask that it seems like it is going to be a differences between Old English and Archaic Chinese, but why am I putting here? Because of the first sentence. So they are always the object of the original sentence. So we can say there's a tendency for them to put the object into the initial place in Old English and Archaic Chinese. I didn't have many detailed discussion here, but I've already put in my presentation. So if you're interested, please come up to me for that. Okay, so the differences. This is going to be a huge difference because I made a graph. We can say that there's 1,182 tokens for Archaic Chinese for using topical markers, but for Old English there's only 10. So it's kind of like amazing. And so I got to the conclusion that Archaic Chinese adopts far more topic prominent structure comparing with Old English. And try to see there is also differences between for Archaic Chinese to use the markers. So for 者也, it used around 77% among all the topic markers, but for 至于 it's only like 7 or 8 to 9%. So there's a huge difference. I also discussed why topic prominence can still be found in Chinese right now, but disappeared in English. I made this model by myself, and it's proved, but I don't have any more time for this. So if you're interested, please come to find me afterwards. So the conclusion is that Archaic Chinese has a higher frequency of topic marker sentence comparing with Old English, as we see before. And I also came to the conclusion that same criteria, both Archaic Chinese and Old English do not meet, which are put up by Li and Tux in 1976. So I didn't have any more detailed discussion here, but in my decision, I especially note that the verb final condition is not met for the topic markers. And the third conclusion I come is the Archaic Chinese and Old English belongs to different types of language from the beginning. As you see the usage of topic markers, we can get to the conclusion that English is more tend to be a subject prominent, and Old English can be more regarded as the topic prominent. So here I would like to thank my supervisor, Professor George Wharton, right now in the University of Constance, and I'm going to be his PhD as well. And here are my emails, and if you are interested, please comment.